Good evening and Jai Hind. I am Amrita Bose, teacher of English language at Sunbeam School, Mughal Sarai. On behalf of the faculty of Sunbeam School, Mughal Sarai, I welcome you all to the third leg of this journey to understand AI and its applications. Today's webinar has been specifically designed and tailor-made to fit the needs of students belonging to senior school, that is standard 9 to 12. This webinar is based on machine learning in the real world and is being organized by Sunbeam School, Mughal Sarai in association with STEM Robo. Machine learning is a type of artificial intelligence that allows software applications to become more accurate at predicting outcomes without having to be intricately programmed to do so. Machine learning algorithms use historical data as input to predict new output values. A little about our school. Sunbeam School, Mughal Sarai was established in the year 2005 with a vision to provide holistic education and has been incorporating groundbreaking technologies to the traditional curriculum. It has been catering to the students belonging to Chandoli, Mughal Sarai, Chakia, Chehania, Varanasi, and adjoining areas. It has been promoting digital revolution in these areas and is initiating the digital revolution in the eastern Uttar Pradesh. I would now request our Vice Principal, Ms. Smriti Khanna, to kindly address today's session and introduce our guest of honor for the day. Ma'am.
Thank you, Amrita ma'am. A very good evening and Jai Hind to all. We extend a warm welcome to all the participants of today's webinar, Let's Go Digital and Be Future Ready. We all are aware that today digital literacy has become a part and parcel of our daily lives. Keeping this in mind, Sunbeam School Mughal Sarai ensures that students are trained in operation of computer from standard 1 onwards itself. The National Education Policy 2020 has also emphasized on integration of digitalized way of blended learning. We offer computer science as an optional subject for students of classes 11 and 12 where they can learn Python, C++, etc. While the students in standard 8 to 10 can take courses in artificial intelligence and blended learning, classes in coding and circuit designing begin for students from class 6 onwards. The Atal Tinkering Lab promoted by Niti Aayog, Government of India, was set up in our school in the year 2018. It has enabled students of standard 6 and above to explore their creativity in designing electronic based projects, taking inferences from the different problems we face regularly. Students have used solution driven approach to build robots. It is a very novel idea of the students. For instance, the ongoing COVID-19 crisis inspired a few students to come up with projects like touch-free dustbin, sanitizer dispensers, and touch-free doorbells. Other projects that are worth mentioning here are rain alarm, fog detector, and obstacle detector stick for the visually challenged. These models have been developed in-house by our own students of classes 6 to 12. Our subject experts have helped students to achieve commendable feats in designing of robots and electronic models. Our students bagged the gold medal in district level science exhibition in the year 2019 and in the year 2019 as well as 2020, students of Sunbeam School Mughalsarai won the Inspire Manak Award at the district level, which is awarded by the Department of Science and Technology. The students participated wholeheartedly in the state level awards also. We are happy to mention here that Atal Innovation Mission of BHU has proposed for a collaboration with our school. Thereby, our students can exhibit their models at BHU, and this also would encourage their aim to go for patenting of their models. In the primary section, we have set up the Tinkering Lab to facilitate students to design creative models from household scrap or waste material. We have conducted workshops on robotics exclusively for students from our nearby community to give them an opportunity to have hands-on experience in handling of electronic gadgets. Not all schools have the Atal Tinkering Lab. Not all schools have the faculty like we have. So we give opportunity as a CSR initiative to provide hands-on experience to the students of government schools and other schools also in our ATL lab. Today, I am honored that we have with us Mr. Prashant Kakkar as a guest of honor. Mr. Prashant Kakkar is a media professional and he is working as a media and communication officer in a Government of India organization. Sir is in charge of Press Information Bureau, Varanasi. Mr. Prashant Kakkar has experience of 21 years in journalism. He has also worked for the Bihar's leading newspaper, Hindustan, as a senior correspondent. Sir has completed his postgraduate diploma in journalism from Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi. Prashant sir, welcome to this webinar, and I would request you to speak a few words to the students. Can we have Prashant sir on the screen?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
Prashant
आवाज आ रही
sir.
है? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am
You are
I-
audible.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
I would request to put Prashant sir on the spotlight. Thank you. Sir, I would request you to speak to the students about the importance
ma'am.
of artificial. Yes.
ओके मैम, बहुत बहुत सबसे पहले तो मैं आप सभी लोगों को धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि आपने इस वेबिनार के लिए हमें आमंत्रित किया। और मैं चाहूंगा कि मैं बाइलिंगुअल थोड़ा मैं अपनी बातों पे रखूँ तो शायद मैं भी इसमें बेहतर कम्युनिकेट कर पाऊंगा और बच्चे भी शायद बेहतर तरीके से समझ पाएंगे। तो इस वेबिनार में जुड़े आप सभी विद्यालय के जो टीचर्स हैं, वाइस प्रिंसिपल हैं और इसके अलावा जो गेस्ट स्पीकर हैं, स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उन सभी को मैं अपने पीआईबी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पत्र सूचना कार्यालय जैसे इंग्लिश में प्रेस इंफॉर्मेशन ब्यूरो कहते हैं, उसकी ओर से मैं नमस्कार प्रेषित कर रहा हूँ। प्रेस इंफॉर्मेशन ब्यूरो भारत सरकार का मीडिया इकाई है जो एक मिनिस्ट्री है, इंफॉर्मेशन एंड ब्रॉडकास्टिंग मिनिस्ट्री, सूचना और प्रसारण मंत्रालय, उसके अधीन ये काम करता है ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। और ये बेसिकली काम करता है आपको सरकार, भारत सरकार और मीडिया के बीच में। अगर मीडिया को किसी तरीके के भारत सरकार से संबंधित कोई जानकारी चाहिए तो वो पीआईबी उपलब्ध कराती है, और सरकार को कुछ फीडबैक चाहिए या किसी तरीके की जानकारी चाहिए तो वो मीडिया के माध्यम से पीआईबी सरकार को उपलब्ध कराती है। तो मैं सबसे पहले आप सभी लोग को धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि आज आप लोगों ने एक बहुत बेहतरीन सब्जेक्ट पे और जो काफी महत्वपूर्ण सब्जेक्ट है उसके ऊपर आप लोग आज वार्ता जो सब्जेक्ट रखा है, धन्यवाद स्वागत है। और ये जो जैसा कि मशीन लर्निंग और रियल वर्ल्ड इसका जो सब्जेक्ट दिया गया है वो काफी महत्वपूर्ण है और वर्तमान समय में इसकी उपयोगिता तो आप इस एग्जाम में जो बच्चे हैं 9th और 12th है वो काफी बेहतर तरीके से समझ रहे हैं। जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ कि मशीन लर्निंग को ज्यादा समझाने की जरूरत नहीं है। इसके जो नेम अगर इसके नेम को अगर हम डिराइव करें तो मशीन यानी जो मशीन जो हम लोग यूज करते हैं हमारे जीवन को जो मशीन का जो काम होता है हमारे जो लाइफ होते हैं उसे आसान बनाना काम होता है। उस मशीन को अगर लर्निंग करना सीखा अगर उसे और बेहतर तरीके से और उसे सीखना वो लगातार अपने को इम्प्रूव करते रहे सीखते रहे तो वो जो मशीन सीखती है और सीखने के साथ साथ वो अपनी गलतियों से बराबर अपने आप को इम्प्रूव करते रहे और इसके बाद जो बेहतर खुद को बेहतर कर कर तो बेहतर करके जो रिजल्ट देता है तो मशीन लर्निंग का बेसिकली काम यही है कि ऐसा मशीन जो अपनी गलतियों से सीखता रहे और उसके बाद हमको बेहतर और रिजल्ट दे और बेहतर भविष्यवाणी करता रिजल्ट दे। ऐसा हम जो मानव है मानव भी यही करता है आदमी भी यही करता है कि हम लोग अनुभव प्राप्त करते हैं अपनी गलतियों को अपने काम के दौरान जो गलतियां होता है उससे हम लोग वो गलतियों से सीखते हैं और खुद को बेहतर करते हैं। तो इस जो वेबिनार है इसमें कुछ टेक्निकल लोग भी जुड़े होते हैं तो वो इस चीज पर बेहतर तरीके से अपनी बात को रख सकते हैं कि उसके लर्निंग क्या है। लेकिन जो मेरा जो बैकग्राउंड है वो पत्रकारिता का मास कम्युनिकेशन और जर्नलिज्म का है तो मैं उससे जोड़ते हुए कुछ बातें को मैं इस वेबिनार में बच्चों के सामने रखना चाहूंगा कि मशीन लर्निंग का जो उपयोग है जो इसके फायदे हैं वो हम सभी को पता है। हम आम जीवन में हर समय मशीन लर्निंग की टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग कर रहे हैं। कोई भी आदमी ऐसा छूता नहीं होगा जो ये कहे कि मशीन लर्निंग से हम छूते हैं या हमारी नजर हमारे ऊपर ये कहने का ये है कि हमारे ऊपर मशीन लर्निंग के माध्यम से लगातार नजर रखती है। ये मशीन लर्निंग जर्नलिज्म के क्षेत्र में बहुत ही बेहतर तरीके से भी इसका उपयोग किया जा रहा है। आमतौर पर गूगल जो है गूगल काफी बेहतर गूगल का हम लोग आम दिनों में हमेशा उपयोग करते रहते हैं और गूगल इस पर बहुत बेहतर तरीके से काम भी कर रहा है। गूगल का सबसे बेहतरीन जो है कि आप हम लोग सोचेंगे कि हम लोग अगर किसी दूसरी कंट्री में चले जाए मान लीजिए फ्रांस चले जाए फ्रांस में अगर रोड पर घूमते हुए स्ट्रीट पर अगर कोई स्ट्रीट पर जो कोई मार्किंग है या कोई बिलबोर्ड लगा हुआ है तो फ्रेंच सब्जेक्ट फ्रेंच वर्ड हमें नहीं आता है तो क्या करेंगे। ऐसे में ये गूगल का एक जो गूगल का जो टूल्स है वो ट्रांसलेशन का उसके अंदर केवल मोबाइल को उस शब्द पर अगर हम इंगित करें तो वो उस शब्द जो फ्रेंच वर्ड है उसे चाहे कि जिस लैंग्वेज में लाना चाहे बेहतर जाने हिंदी में क्या वो तो बस उसके ऊपर लाते ही वो चीजों को अपना वो हिंदी में कर देता है। तो ये कैसे हुआ ये मशीन लर्निंग से ही संभव हुआ कि मशीन को इतना एक्सपर्ट कर दिया गया है कि ऐसा उसके अंदर उसे इस तरीके का बना दिया गया है उसने सॉफ्टवेयर से ऐसा पैटर्न वो डेवलप कर दिया है कि वो उसने उससे लिखे हुए शब्दों को हम लोग को आसानी से चीजों को बता दे रहा है। हम लोग कई बार सोचते हैं कि फेसबुक कई बार यूज करते हैं और फेसबुक यूज करते हैं तो देखते हैं कि कुछ ऐसे चीज आने लगते हैं कि जिसको मैंने फ्लिपकार्ट पर किसी सामान को देखने के लिए खरीदने के लिए मैंने यूज किया था तो कभी सोचता हूँ लोग सोचते भी हैं बच्चे जो है कि ऐसा कैसे हो रहा है कि मैंने फ्लिपकार्ट में वहाँ सामान को देखा और ये फेसबुक बता रहा है। तो टेक्नोलॉजी इस तरीके से है कि वो हमारे मशीन लर्निंग के माध्यम से हमारी हर गतिविधियां हमारे जो एक्शन है गतिविधियां उसके ऊपर वो नजर रखती है। आपने फ्लिपकार्ट स्नैपडील पर सामान देखा फेसबुक उसी चीज को तो वो संभव हुआ मशीन लर्निंग से संभव हुआ। मशीन लर्निंग हमारे जीवन को आसान बहुत तरीकों से आसान बनाया है कि हमारे एज ए कंज्यूमर जीवन को आसान बनाया है, एज ए कस्टमर आसान बनाया है, साथ ही साथ जो इस प्रोफेशन में है, बिजनेस में, उनके जीवन को भी कई काफी तरीकों से आसान बनाया है। ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग के दौरान जो खरीदने के पैटर्न होते हैं, कि कस्टमर का जो खरीदने का क्या चीज़ों को पसंद करते हैं, वो चीज़ों को भी मशीन लर्निंग के माध्यम से चीज़ों को काफ़ी बेहतर तरीके से चीज़ों को कंपनी के लिए फायदेमंद तरीके से चीज़ों को रख देता है। जिससे वो कंपनियाँ काफ़ी कम खर्च में, काफ़ी कम संसाधनों में बेहतर कर सकती है, उससे अच्छा प्रोडक्शन कर सकता है। और अ, ये इसके अलावा जो मैं कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि जर्नलिज्म में एडवर्टाइजिंग बराबर इसका हो रहा है। सबसे पहले देखते हैं कि पत्रकारिता में कैसे काम ये करता है। वेब पोर्टल जितने आजकल चल रहे हैं कि वेब पोर्टल है, तो अगर आम आदमी खोले तो उसके सामने न्यूज का एक बहुत बड़ा सेक्शन उसके सामने, लेकिन मशीन लर्निंग इस पैटर्न पे वो वेब पोर्टल का काम करता है कि आप खोलेंगे तो जो आपका इंटरेस्ट फील्ड है, जिसमें आप मान लीजिए कि आप अपना जो फिल्म का न्यूज पसंद करते हैं, तो वो वेब पोर्टल वो चीज़ों को आपके पसंद के अनुसार ही न्यूज को आपके सामने रख देता है, जिससे आपका भी समय बचता है और जो वेब पोर्टल है उसके लिए भी उसके प्रति भी कस्टमर के अंदर एक अच्छा इमेज बनता है कि चलिए वो हमारी ज़रूरत के हिसाब से चीज़ों को कंटेंट हमें उपलब्ध करा रहा है। और इसके अलावा भी कई चीज़ों पर ये ट्रांसलेशन, गूगल ट्रांसलेशन हम लोग हमेशा यूज करते हैं, प्रेस रिलीज यूज करते हैं। किसी जगह खबरें आती है तो कन्नड़ में, जैसे कि अभी के खबरें तमिल में खबरें आ जाती है, तो उसे ट्रांसलेशन करना है हिंदी में आपसी जाती है तो बड़ा मुश्किल होता है। तो इसलिए हम लोग गूगल ट्रांसलेशन का प्रयोग करते हैं। अगर गूगल ट्रांसलेशन की बात करें तो 2-3 साल पहले अगर जाए तो किसी चीज़ का वो गूगल ट्रांसलेशन जो था वो चीज़ों को भूखंडर वो इतनी भारी गलती कर देता था कि हास्यास्पद स्थिति हो जाती। लेकिन समय के साथ में गूगल ट्रांसलेशन के इतने पैटर्न इतने एग्जाम्पल डाले गए कि कौन से वर्ड कौन सा वर्ड एक्यूरेट होगा, तो उसे बेहतर इतने तरीके से आज वो डेवलप कर दिया गया है गूगल गूगल ट्रांसलेशन को कि नहीं लगता कि वो उसके लिए कि किसी एक अलग से किसी आदमी को हायर करने के लिए ट्रांसलेटर को रखने की जरूरत, क्योंकि वो खुद को गूगल ट्रांसलेशन ने खुद को इतना मजबूत कर दिया है कि वो किसी बाहर से आपको हायर करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती। इसके अलावा जितने भी न्यूज की एजेंसियां हैं, एपी, वॉल स्ट्रीट जैसे बहुत बड़े-बड़े जो मैगज़ीन हैं, वो भी कस्टमर अपने जो पाठक हैं उसके न्यूज हैबिट के अनुसार वो न्यूज कंटेंट इसी मशीन लर्निंग है उसके माध्यम से उपलब्ध कराते हैं। इसके अलावा भी इन्वेस्ट अगर पत्रकारिता है तो इन्वेस्टिगेटिव जर्नलिस्ट लोग करते हैं, और इस हिसाब से कुछ ऐसे उदाहरण मिले हैं कि जो लगा कि एक आम आदमी से वो उस तरीके की पत्रकारिता संभव नहीं, तो मशीन या मशीन लर्निंग टेक्नोलॉजी के मामले चीज़ों से सामने आए। असल उदाहरण कुछ है कि अमेज़न, जैसा कि हम लोग जानते हैं अमेज़न का जंगल वर्ल्ड का सबसे बड़ा उसमें ट्रॉपिकल वर्षा होता है, और उसको लेकर कई बार चिंता भी जाहिर की गई कि वहाँ के जो जंगल है वो बहुत तेजी से खत्म हो रहे हैं। तो वहाँ की एक जनजाति है टेम्बे करके, और ब्राज़ील में वो पाई जाती है। तो टेम्बे जनजाति के लोगों ने ये शुरुआत से ही रहा है कि वो पर्यावरण के लेकर काफ़ी संवेदनशील रहे हैं और बचाने के लिए हमेशा उसके लिए संघर्ष करते रहे हैं। तो अमेज़न के जंगल के बहुत सारे वीडियो और वॉइस वगैरह उपलब्ध है, और उसे गौर से सुने तो इतने तरीके इतने बहुत ही बहुत तरह के आवाज वहां से निकलते हैं। विभिन्न तरह की चिड़िया की आवाज, पानी के आवाज और जानवर की आवाज, तो किसी भी आवाज किसका है ये पहचान पाना बड़ा मुश्किल है। तो अमेज़न के जंगलों में आमतौर पर जो पर्यावरण जो लकड़ी काटने वाले जो लोग होते हैं बहुत ज्यादा संख्या में वो एक्टिव है। तो टेम्बे जनजाति के लोग जो थे पहले इन चीजों को रोकते थे, लेकिन अब रोकना बड़ा मुश्किल हो गया। तो उस तकनीक उन्होंने एक ऐसी तकनीक का इजाद किया। पहले ये होता था कि ट्रक की आवाज से, इसके अलावा जो चैन आरी जो मशीन होता है, चैन आरी मशीन की आवाज से लोग पहचान जाते थे। लेकिन अब इतने दूर दूर पे वो लोग भी ऐसे टेक्निक का उपयोग कर ले रहे हैं जिसको पहचानना बहुत मुश्किल होता है। तो टेम्बर जनजाति के लोगों ने एक जो एंड्रॉयड मोबाइल होता है, एंड्रॉयड मोबाइल के सहारे और मशीन लर्निंग के सहारे, जिसको एक टूल का नाम गार्डियन गार्डियन किया गया, उस टूल के सहारे उन्होंने ऐसा डिवाइस डेवलप किया जिससे कि जो आरी मशीन जेल कटर जो काम करता है, ट्रक की आवाज उसको वो आसानी से पहचान। वो क्या करते हैं कि पेड़ के बहुत काफी ऊंचाई पर एक मोबाइल मोबाइल को सोलर पैनल से चार्ज करने का सिस्टम लगा दिया। और इसके अलावा गाड़ियों जो मशीन मशीन लर्निंग का जो सिस्टम है उसे लगा दिया। और ऐसे सिग्नल उन्हें प्राप्त होने लगे कि जैसे ही कोई घटना होती थी तो इसके सिग्नल उन्हें उपलब्ध हो जाती थी और तुरंत वो रेंजर्स पुलिस को इसके बारे में सूचना देते थे, या अगर उसे पहुंचने में मुश्किल है तो खुद अपने जनजाति के लोग इकट्ठे होकर उसके ऊपर हमला करते हैं या उसे रोकने की कोशिश करते हैं। ऐसे ही यूक्रेन जैसा कि हम जानते हैं काफी मिनरल्स में काफी रिच कंट्री है वो, और वहाँ भी अवैध खनन काफी लेवल बहुत हाई लेवल हो रहा है। उसे पहचान पाना बहुत मुश्किल था। तो वहाँ के जो एक गूगल का जो मैप होता है, गूगल अर्थ, उस मैप के सहारे उसने उस स्कैन को पकड़ा। तो उसने मशीन लर्निंग टेक्निक का इस्तेमाल कर गूगल के जो अर्थ का जो मैप है उसके इस्तेमाल कर उसने उस स्कैन को पकड़ा। और उसके बाद पता चला कि ये काफी बड़े पैमाने का स्कैम चल रहा था अवैध खनन का। उसे वो चीजें दूर किया गया। पेरू एक कंट्री है, वहाँ करप्शन का एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी थी, उसके ऊपर करप्शन का बहुत बड़ा चार्जेज लगा। तो उसमें भी वहाँ उसके पत्रकार के माध्यम से ये चीजें सफल हो पाई। उसने मशीन लर्निंग का इस्तेमाल किया। ऐसे कई उदाहरण हैं। और इसके अलावा उदाहरण तो है, इसके अलावा गूगल गूगल ने इन चीजों को काफी समझा कि पत्रकारिता से जो जुड़े लोग हैं वो और एडवर्टाइजिंग से जुड़े लोग हैं, इनकी मशीन लर्निंग सिखा चलेंगे। तो हाल के दिनों में गूगल ने मशीन लर्निंग के ऊपर एक सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स ऑनलाइन सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स का इजाद किया, जिससे लोगों को काफी फायदा मिला। जिससे ये बताया गया कि आप अपने जर्नलिज्म में चीजों को बेहतर डाटा निकाल सकते हैं, बेहतर तरीकों से समाज को बेहतरी किया सकते हैं। और मैं एक चीज जो महत्वपूर्ण चीज है उसकी ओर ध्यान दिलाना चाहूंगा कि वर्तमान समय में जो फेक न्यूज एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या बन चुकी है। फेक न्यूज हम आप सभी लोग दो चार होते हैं, व्हाट्सएप के माध्यम से फेक न्यूज का सबसे ज्यादा प्रसार होता है। फेक न्यूज के कारण इतनी बड़ी समस्या है कि लॉ ऑर्डर के लिए चुनौतियां हो गई है। इंडिया में जैसी घटनाएं में फेक न्यूज बढ़ी रही है। तो फेक न्यूज को लड़ने के लिए व्हाट्सएप टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल जल्दी करने वाला है, कई कंट्री में वो कर और बहुत कर रहा है। तो फेक न्यूज के खिलाफ जो फाइट लड़ने या मशीन लर्निंग बहुत बड़ी भूमिका होती है। हमारा जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है PIB ब्यूरो, वो भी फेक न्यूज के ऊपर काफी काम कर रहा है। तो हम लोग भी मशीन लर्निंग जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। और फेक न्यूज को लड़ने में ये इतनी बड़ी समस्या बन के उभरी है वर्तमान समय में कि केवल व्हाट्सएप और कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अगर इसके लिए काम करें तो भी लगेगा कि बहुत कम पड़ रहा है। तो इस लड़ाई को लड़ने हम सभी को आगे आने की जरूरत है। तो फेक न्यूज को कैसे ट्रैक करेंगे कि सही मायने में सही है क्या नहीं है, इसके भी कई टूल्स है ना जो हमारे मोबाइल पे, हमारे जो कंप्यूटर है, इंटरनेट पे बहुत सारी उपलब्ध है। मतलब बहुत बार कुछ चीजों का फोटो दे दिया जाता है कि मान लीजिए बनारस में किसी बहुत बड़े जो बहुत ही खूबसूरत पुल का फोटो दे दिया, बताया कि ये देखिए, ये विकास देखिए, ये पुल का निर्माण, और इसके लेकर कंटेंट, फेक कंटेंट उसमें डाल दिया है। लेकिन अगर हम चाहें तो गूगल का रिवर्स इमेज करके जो साइट है, वहाँ वो चीजों को डालकर आप सही चीज पता लगा सकते हैं कि सही मायने में फोटो जो है वो बनारस का ही है, या कि फ्रांस का है, पेरिस का है। ये चीजें खुद वो चीजों को हम लोग जो डाल सकते हैं। इसके अलावा अल्ट न्यूज वगैरह भी काम करते हैं, फेक न्यूज के ऊपर इंडिया में पोर्टल है, वो भी है ना जो मशीन लर्निंग के टेक्निक के ऊपर ही काम करती है। तो कहने का मतलब है कि मशीन लर्निंग है, कोई भी छोटा नहीं है। इंडिया की इंडस्ट्री जो है वो भी मशीन लर्निंग के साथ साथ मशीन लर्निंग उसका उपयोग कर रही है जर्नलिज्म को बेहतर करने, इन्वेस्टिगेशन को बेहतर करने के उपयोग कर रही है। और क्राइम रिपोर्टर और सरकारी भी जो फोर्जरी होते हैं, फाइनेंशियल फोर्जरी होते हैं, उसे रिट्रैक करने के लिए मशीन लर्निंग का इस्तेमाल कर रही है। खेल स्पोर्ट्स में भी बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर मशीन लर्निंग का इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। लोग वो अपनी गलतियों को समझते हैं, चीजों को देखते हैं, तो वो सब उस तरीके की अपने टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सपर्ट का हायर करते हैं और चीजों को इस्तेमाल करते हैं। और जैसा कि न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के ऊपर चर्चा की गई है, और भारत की जो थिंक टैंक है नीति आयोग गूगल के साथ मिलकर मशीन लर्निंग का कैसे बेहतर तरीके से प्रयोग कर सकते हैं, इसके ऊपर वो काम कर रहा है। सरकार ने नीति आयोग को जिम्मेदारी दी है, वो इन चीजों पर बेहतर तरीके से काम करे। बजाते जो बजट है, बजट में प्लानिंग है, इसके ऊपर रिसर्च के लिए पैसे वो निर्धारित किया गया है। साथ ही साथ वो ये भी कहा गया है कि वो जो इनोवेशन है या स्टार्टअप है, जो अगर स्टार्टअप करना चाहते हैं तो उन्हें सरकार की तरफ से सुविधाएं उपलब्ध कराई जाए। तो अगर इसमें कुछ बेहतर करना चाहते हैं तो सरकार की तरफ से भी सहयोग किया जा रहा है। और मैं बहुत ज्यादा समय ले लूंगा, मुझे बताया गया था कि 5 से 7 मिनट ही लेने हैं, तो ज्यादा ही बोल गया। लेकिन मैं यही कहूँगा, लास्ट में बस यही कहना चाहूँगा कि जो बच्चे हैं आप लोगों से काफी उम्मीदें हैं, और आप लोगों को ज्यादा का मैं खासतौर पर शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि उन्होंने इतने अच्छे पढ़ाई लिखाई जो होती है ट्रेडिशनल, उसके अलावा हटकर इन चीजों के ऊपर बच्चों को ध्यान दिला रहे हैं, इसके बारे में बता रहे हैं, के बारे में बता रहे हैं। तो बढ़िया है, ये चीजें आगे भी होती रहनी चाहिए और बच्चों की इसकी जरूरत को समझे। और जैसा कि मैं वीडियो देख रहा था तो करके आपका जो वो है लगा, और ये आगे भी आप चले और बेहतर करें, बेहतर करें। सभी लोगों से शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you, sir. And over to Amrita ma'am to carry the proceedings of the day.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, sir. Today's webinar is brought to you by Sunbeam School, Mughal Sarai, in association with STEM Robo Technologies. STEM Robo is a leading name in educational technology. It has been known to pioneer new concepts, methodologies, research and development, and design initiatives in STEM education. Before we proceed, a gentle reminder to all the participants in the webinar. A registration link for the upcoming webinar in the series will be posted shortly in the chat box during the session. I request all participants to stay in the meeting until the completion of the session. Your registration will keep track of your attendance and upon successful registration and attendance in all the sessions, each participant will be awarded a certificate. At Sunbeam School, Mughal Sarai, we constantly strive to add value to what we promise to deliver by organizing such hands-on learning events on a regular basis. This webinar is based on machine learning in the real world. Today, you will not only learn the nitty-gritties of ML, but also see that how it finds application in automatic language translation, image or facial recognition, voice recognition, self-driven cars, traffic prediction, product recommendations like in Netflix, Amazon, spam and malware filtration, virtual personal assistant like Siri, Cortana, etc., online fraud detections, stock market trading, medical diagnosis, and countless other areas. Our resource person for the day is Mr. Aman Upadhyay. He is the Senior Innovations Engineer and a technical lead at STEM Robo. He holds over 3 years of experience in the field of AI and robotics. He has led over 50 innovative projects and has been a mentor to approximately 12,000 students in the field of robotics, Internet of Things, and AI, specifically machine learning. Aman sir, I would request you to kindly commence today's session.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all can hear me properly. Can you all hear me properly, students?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
audible.
So let us start with today's session. In the last lecture, we have learned a little bit about what is artificial intelligence and what is machine learning. Now, in today's session, we will start with the programming of Python. Because if you talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? Prashant sir was giving such a nice example how it is used in mass media and right, in news filtration by Google and other companies. If you want to achieve all those things using the machine learning and artificial intelligence, we must have to use a programming language, right? And the programming language which is best suitable, or I can say the programming language which is used widely in the field of artificial intelligence and machine learning is nothing but Python. So today we'll start with the Python programming language. We'll understand some of the fundamentals of Python programming language, and then we'll start with the concept of artificial intelligence. Okay. So I will be sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now students, you all are free to communicate in the chat box. All your doubts I will take during the sessions, okay, itself. So you are free to post your doubts in the chat box. But yes, keep a control on it. Most of the doubts, if it is too big, I have to take it, right, at the end of the session. I hope I'm loud enough, right, everyone? Is my voice low or is it loud enough to understand?
I request you to be a little louder if possible.
Mr.
Okay.
Raman, if you can adjust your mic also, it is okay. Just you see, somewhere the voice is not coming very
Yes, sir.
properly. Okay.
Okay. I hope it is now. Audio is better.
Improvement
Yes,
is there. Yes, please carry on.
Okay. So let's start now, and I will be sharing my screen, and let's start with the programming in Python. Okay. So first of all, this is the platform AIconnect.cc. I will provide the link to this website in the chat box so that you can click on this link and you all will be on the same web page. Okay. The website link is there in the chat box, AIconnect.cc. Go to this link and you will see a web page like this, right? As on your screen right now. Now, some of you might not be having credentials with you. So you just click on this try without login button. And once you click on this try without login button, you will see some couple of options available here, right? Now, on this platform, we are going to start with the Python programming, but we'll start with the programming, right? Graphics designing first. We'll see how graphics are designed in Python and how things can be made using the Python programming language, okay? It's a very simple, right? We are starting, right? This is the first day of our programming coding. So we'll start with the very simple concepts in the Python, right? Now we are going to start with the graphic designing, and for graphic designing, we need a turtle, right? Now, what is this turtle? Turtle is simply, right? Turtle is simply a small arrow on the screen, right? Which appears at the center of the screen. And whenever you want to make any graphics on the screen, you can move that turtle accordingly, right? So you can move your turtle up, down, left, right, as per your need, the graphics that you want to design, okay? So let us start with making a circle. Now, I think we have discussed this in the last lecture as well. So for circle, what we are going to do, we'll go to the looks, we'll take repeat, and also we'll go to the motion, and we'll take two blocks. One, move forward, and the second one is the turn left. Now, using this move forward and turn left, we are going to create a circle on the screen. Now, the same question, which turtle are you talking about? Because there can be more than one turtle, right? So which turtle are you talking about? So I will go into the variable. I will select turtle t, because the name of the turtle that we have created, it's having name t, right? So I'll say make turtle t move forward by, and make turtle t turn left by. Now there are two more, right, empty spaces that we have to fill up. These are number of steps and the angle. So if you say make your turtle t move forward by, it will definitely ask how many steps, right, do you want to move forward? So let's say that I want to move 10 steps, right? And then it will say make turtle t turn left by. What should be the angle? Now I want answers from you, student. What will be the number of, right? What will be the number of times we have to repeat, and what will be the angle? Can you tell me in the chat box? What do you think, right? This value, right? We need turn left and repeat times. You can send a direct message to me rather than everyone. What do you think? What should be the angle? Turn left by, and how many times we have to repeat? Okay, turn left by. Okay. Okay. Yes, students. Okay, turn left by. Okay. Now, whenever you are making any geometrical shapes, right? Okay, good, Ankit. Good. Okay. Now, see, if you are making any closed geometrical shape, the total angle, the overall angle should be 360, right? Whether you are making a rectangle, a square, a triangle, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, whatever you make, the total angle should be 360, right? Now, what is the total angle? Number of angle, right? The turn, sorry. Angle of the turn, left or right, whatever you take. The angle of the turn multiplied by number of times that you are repeating. That becomes the total angle, right? So you can do like this. You can say, repeat 360 times and take turn by 1 degree. This is the answer that I got in the chat box, right? So repeat 360 times and the turn left by 1 degree. Now, if you run this code, it will go out of the screen. So let me make it small a little bit. Okay. Now, if I run this code, you can see there's a circle, right, on the screen. Of course, it is going out of the, right, out of the screen, because that is the number of moves, right? The number of move forward is very big. So we'll make it a little bit more small. We'll make it 1. And now if I run, you can see a circle on the screen, right? Now there are a couple of issues with this circle. The one problem I hope you all can notice with this is that it's too small, isn't it? Right? And very slow. Now the biggest problem is the speed of this turtle, right? It's very slow. One of the way by which we can make it better is that rather than saying 360 into 1, can I say 36 into 10? Still it will be 360 degree, right? 36 into 10. Now if I run this code, you see a circle but very small. So let's increase this and we'll make it 10. Let's see how does it look like now. Now you can see a circle on the screen, which is much faster, right? As before. Now there is a problem, right? Let's see if I want to make a very simple Olympics logo, right? We have started with this, but due to the time constraint, we were not able to finish this in the last lecture, right? So let's search about Olympics logo, right? So now if you want to make this type of Olympics logo, what do you think, right? What do you think? How can we proceed with this, right? Now we have already learned, student, right? We have already learned about how we can change the color of any shape, or I can say turtle, and how we can increase the width of the turtle, right? We have already learned how to change the color and how to increase the width, right? So let's apply that. So I will go here in the turtle option and I will say make my turtle wide to 5. Which turtle? So turtle T, right? 5 is not sufficient. I think I will make it 8. Now you can see a ring, right? Now we have to change color as well. Let's change the color to black, right? Sorry, blue. The first one, blue. So I will come here and we'll go to the option of turtle and we'll say make turtle color. Which turtle? So turtle T. Which color? So we'll go to colors option and we'll select blue. Now let's run this code and you can see a circle here, right? I hope everyone understood this part of the coding. It's, I think, fairly simple, right? We don't want to make it complicated in the very first day, right, of the programming. But there's one problem, right? The one problem is that changing the position of this circle. Remember, we have used this block, right? We have used this block. Set turtle position, right? We have used this set turtle position, correct? Now what it needs, turtle position, can you someone explain in the chat box what these two values are, students? X and Y coordinates, good, right? Yes, good reserve. Okay, it requires X and Y coordinate, right? Now we have to move this circle on the left hand side of the screen, right? So for going left hand side of the screen, we need to change this coordinate, right? We have to change this coordinate to negative value. Let's say negative 100. We don't need to change the position of Y because I don't want to move up or down. I just want to go towards the left hand side of the screen. Okay. And you know what is the problem will arrive if I click on run button, right? If you click on run button, you can see a problem. Although my circle is going towards the left hand side of the screen, but there's a line that I can see, right? And I want it a little bit more towards the left, so I can make it, right? I can make it 150. And this, can you tell me how can I remove this line? We have seen this in the last lecture as well. How can I remove this line? Okay, pen up. Good, Ankit. Good. You're the first one to answer this. Good. Pen up and pen down, right? If you don't want, right? Now remember this. In Turtle, if you want to move something without drawing, right? If you want to move your turtle without drawing anything on the screen, use pen up and pen down. Okay. So along with the position, we will use pen up and pen down. So we'll go to control, we'll say pen up, and we'll go to control and we'll say pen down, right? And this will attach which turtle. So I'll say turtle T pen up, which turtle. So I'll say turtle T pen down, right? Always we have to mention the name of the turtle. Now I will run this code and you can see now we got our blue circle here. All right, all good, right? So far. Now we have to make black circle and the red circle as well. So for making black circle, it's a very simple job, right? For making a black circle. Now for making black circle, I can do one thing. First of all, I can just duplicate this color block, right? And I will change the color to black, right? This is the first thing that we have to do, isn't it, students? I will go here and I will select black color, right? I hope you understood. Now we are going to learn a very important topic. Sir, how do we change order of layers? Order of the layer, which means I didn't get you, Rishabh. What do you mean by changing order of the layer? Okay, you are talking about taking the circle in the background and the foreground. Okay, over and under. Okay, got it. Something that you will, right? You are talking about taking something in the background and the foreground, right? One layer inside, one layer outside. Okay, that, right? It depends upon that whenever you draw, right? Whenever you draw this thing. Okay, in order, right? In the order that you will move your turtle, that will decide the layer. Okay. Now, the important concept that we have to learn here through the graphic designing is that now there's something very interesting coming, right? Okay. Now, first of all, we'll change the color. Then we'll change the position to 0,0, right? Why 0,0? Because we want our turtle to be exactly at the center of the screen, right? So we'll make it 0,0. Then I will make circle again, right? I will make circle again. Now, of course, we need pen up and pen down as well. Without that, it won't work properly. So I will go here and I will make pen up, then turtle, and then pen down. Now, if I run this code, you will see black circle as well, right? Isn't it? So let me run this code. And you can see the first blue circle and then your red circle, black circle, right? Exactly how it is seen in the Olympics logo. A blue circle, a small amount of gap, and the black circle, then again a small amount of gap, and then red circle, right? Correct, students? Now, there is one problem, right, to this approach, right? There's one problem with the approach. Can someone tell me what is the problem in this code? Of course, there is no red circle, there is no yellow and green circle because we have not completed our program. Other than that, right? In this programming, whatever we have done so far, in that programming, what do you see? Turtle is not hidden. Okay. Distance. Okay, distance is not, right? Distance is the circle overlap. The circle have to overlap. No. Circle, right? Distance, yes, distance can be considered. Okay. Now you are all are thinking in terms of how it is visible. Yes, Rishabh, I got your point, right? Turtle is not hidden. We have to make our turtle hidden. Okay. These all are the problem that you have mentioned. The distance, the thickness, and the turtle is not hidden, right? Color. These are the problem which is there in the visual appearance of these two circles, right? What about the logical problem in this code? What is the logical problem in this code, student? Logical problem in the sense, the way we have written our program, is this correct? The way we have written our program, or is there something that we can improve? Okay, good, Rishabh. Good. Okay. Chronological way is absent. Okay. Chronological way is absent. Okay. Okay, good. Right. Okay. Rishabh, which class you study in? Ankit and Rishabh? 12th. Ankit, you are in 12th, right? Okay. I will explain you what is the problem with this code, right? Those who do not know about this, okay, Rishabh. Those who do not know about this, right? Those who are not familiar with this, we always try not to repeat anything in our program. Okay, we always try not to repeat anything in our program. Okay, we always try not to repeat anything in our program. Now here you can see majority of the code is repeated. This code of repeat 36 times or a circle, right? This code of circle is exactly same at both the places, isn't it? Students, let me know if you understood my problem. Let me know in the chat box if you have understood what I'm exactly talking about, everyone. As you can see, right? As you can see, right here, as you can see, the code of circle is exactly similar, right? The pen up, turtle, pen down is almost similar, right? And the color is also similar, right? Make turtle tea color blue, make turtle tea color black. The only difference is the black and blue, right? Correct? Yes, and coordinate, right? So if you talk about, right, if you talk about this blue circle and the black circle, right, let me just put it side by side, okay? Although this is not the weight of writing any code, but let me just put them side by side just to explain you, right? What is the difference here? You can see the only difference between these two code, the only difference between these two code is that, okay, the only difference between these two code that you can see, the difference in the color and difference in coordinate, right? Is there anything else which is changing in this code, students? No, right? Only the color, value of color is changing, and only the position or the coordinate is changing, right? So what we can do, there is a concept in programming that we call it as function, right? Now what is a function? Function is nothing but a group of code, okay? A group of code and given name, right? Specific name. For example, a group of student, right? Of class 6, we call it as a class 6 division A, class 6 division B, class 6 division C, isn't it? We do that, right? A group of children, right? A group of students of class 6, some, right, known as A, division A, division B, division C, right? The same thing we do it here as well. What we are doing here, rather than putting these lines individually, we put them inside a group of code, right? We make a group of the code and we call it as function. So let's define a function, right? So I will go into the, right here you can see that, right? Now there are other ways of doing it. We'll come to that, right? But just for the time being, just understand, right? For the time being, just understand that here you have some similarity between the codes, right? Just for the time being, just understand there's some similarity between the code. What is that similarity and how we can remove the repetition? We'll see after 5 minutes, okay? Now, can I just duplicate all these codes, change the color and the coordinate to get the red circle as well? So yes, I can definitely do that. So I will duplicate this. I will duplicate this pen up. Don't worry, just after 5 minutes, we will remove this duplication concept and we will use our functions here, right? Okay. And now this circle. Now the only difference that, can you tell me the coordinate of red circle? What should be the coordinate for red circle, students? What should be the coordinate for red circle? $150. Good, everyone. Correct, good, nice. Right? See, we are making Olympics logo that should be very symmetrical, right? On the left hand side and on the right hand side. So here you can see we have created blue circle at -150. So red circle should be at +150, isn't it? So what I will do, I will, rather than writing here -150 for blue, so it should be +150 for red, right? So let us shift this little bit down and let's bring this black circle here. So now they are in sequence, right? Creating a turtle, then making a blue circle, right? At -150, then creating a black circle at 0, and then again creating a red circle at 150. Now if I run this code, you can see the blue circle at -150, black circle at 00, and the red circle at 150, right? Okay, I hope you all are clear with this example, how we are doing it. Now let's understand, is it difficult to learn the Python programming language? Not really, right? Let's talk about this much of code. Okay, let's talk about this much of code. Now what we are doing here, right? Let's talk about this much of code and see what we are doing actually here. First of all, we are importing a library turtle. Why this library we are importing in turtle? Importing the library turtle, right? Importing the turtle library tells our Python programming that, there is something, right? There is something, a turtle that I want to use. Now Python is having a lot of things, right? Using Python, you can create games, Using Python, you can create softwares, right? If you're familiar with it, using Python Pygame, you can create games. Using Python Kinter, you can create softwares. Using Python Django, right? And Flask, you can create websites. Using Python scikit-learn, right? NumPy, Pandas, you can make artificial intelligence thing, right? So there are a lot of things that can be done using Python. What you actually want to do with the Python that you have to import. So I want to use a turtle to make graphics. So I will say import turtle. Okay, I hope you understood what is the meaning of import turtle. I want to bring, right? Yes, Matplotlib, right? Pygame, Matplotlib, right? So using Python, right? There's a query in the chat box. So, but the color of blue is not okay. Definitely, you can change the color at any time. Do you know, students, about the color picker? Do you know what is color picker? Let me show you, right? There's something called as color picker, right? You can just go to Google, right? You can just go to Google and search color picker. Sorry. Okay. Now, if you talk about this color picker, students, you can pick any color that you want. Suppose if you want a blue color, select a color of your choice, right? Whatever blue type of blue you want. And can you see here the value? Hashtag 0941db, right? You know that, right? Value here. Now you can use this value, students, right? You can use this value. Where? Here you can see that. For black, we have 0000, right? For red, you can see FF00000. For blue, you can see that it's written as blue. Some standard color you can directly write. Now here you can see there are some standard color. For example, red is also one of the standard color. You can directly write red. Okay, you can see red, blue, you can directly write. Or if you want any specific color, you can use the values also here, right? You can use a hashtag and the value of the color. Okay, so not an issue about that. Okay, you can select any color of your choice. So can you also search hex code for the blue color of Olympics? Yes. I think, in my opinion, the color, right, of the blue color of the Olympics is this, I guess so, right? So you can pick up this hex color. You can pick up this hex color and use it there. Okay. So rather than this, taking this blue here, you can set the color, right? Okay. All right, students. So what we are going to do now, we will not be completing this code. I hope you got the idea, right? I hope you got the idea how Olympics logo or graphic designing is done, right? So here you can see the Python coding for that. So t.turtle, t.width, blue, pen up, pen down, go to, and all those things, right? Here you can see that. Okay. Now I will be just talking a little bit about the, right? I will talk a little bit about the function as well, but later on, right? We'll discuss about what is a function and how can it be used. Now I will recommend all of you after the session, please complete this code and get your complete, right, Olympics logo. And there are a lot of things that can be designed. Okay. Any doubt do you have till now? Otherwise, we'll erase this code and we are going to write a new code here. Any doubts so far? How to overlap circle? Circles will be overlapped automatically, Aditya. Just try it once, you will get it. Okay. Circles will be overlapped automatically. Just create the next circle. The newer circle will, right, or any graphics that you create later on will replace the, right. Okay, you can contact me, no problem. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. So let's start now. I'm going to erase this code as I'm not getting any query or this doubts, right? Yeah, you have no doubts in this code. Now I will just log in. Now you might not be having login credentials with you, but you can still perform, right, on the without login as well. Now let's talk about after the graphics, what all in Python you can do. Now there are a lot of things to learn in the Python, right? Graphic design, in the graphic designing and the Python programming. But yeah, we will not be, right? We will not be sticking to the graphic designing for now. Now let's start with the concept, right? Let us start with the concept of basic Python programming, right? So I have already created a project. Let me go to that and let's create a, right? Let's create activity. And I'll say basic Python. Now let me just give you overview about, right? Let me just give you overview about the basic Python. Now I'll go here, we'll open this activity. And now here you can see in the basic Python, there are so many new things to learn, right? There are so many new things to learn in the basic Python. And here you can see that, right, we can create variables, we can create, right, different kinds of variables in the Python programming language. Let's start with a variable that is, right, a number. Now number is generally referred by integer and float, okay, in Python programming. Now what is the meaning of integer? Integer, right? Thank you so much, Rishabh. Now let's talk about what is integer, right? Let's talk about what is integer. In Python, right? And in many of the programming language, not all, right? In many of the programming language, we can create two types of number. One is integer and one is float. Now, what is the difference between the integer and float? The difference between integer and float is integer is a number which is not having, okay? Right? Integer is a number which is not having any decimal values, such as if I ask you your roll number, right? Yes, those who have doubt, they can put in the chat box. No need to raise your hand. Okay. In case of any doubt, you can just put that doubt in the chat box. Chat box is always open, right, next to me. Okay. All right. So if I ask you your roll number, right, what you will say? Right. Okay. You will say, right, yeah, your roll number, right? 31, 37, 54, right? Correct. 28, right? All those things you will be your, right? All those things will be your roll number, right? Roll number is nothing but a number which does not contain any decimal value, right? So we call it as integer. So let's create a variable, right? Let's create a variable number and let's store a value into it. Let's store a value. So I will go to number. I'll go to number and I will store a number. Let's say 50, right? So let's say number equals to 50. Now, what if you want to, right? You want to find out, right? This is the number you are storing in the number variable by your own, right? Now what I'm doing here, you can see in the code, right? Number equals to 50, which means I'm creating a variable number, which is storing the value, right? In 50 in it, right? So there is a variable number and it is holding or storing 50 value in it. Okay. Now, what if you want to ask user to give a number? Now, very important, okay? Because I'm leading you towards one experiment that we are going to do, okay? If you write 0.0 reserve, it will be considered as float. If you write only 0, it will be considered as integer, okay? So, Aditya is asking that, sir, I was asking that how to get the circle into themselves, just like the Olympics logo. Okay, got it. Then you have to break the circle wherever you want overlapping, okay? You have to break the circle without taking the 360-degree turn, okay? Then you have to leave a gap in the circle using pen up, okay? Now, what we are going to do here, right? This discussion is more important. Just let's start with it. What if you don't want to store 50 in the number variable and you want your user, right? You want your user to enter the number, right? You want your user to enter the number, right? Good, Rishabh. So I can go to input and I can take the input and I can say here, enter a number, enter a number. Now, if you write like this input, what is the meaning of input? Input is a statement, right? A line in the Python, or I can say command in the Python, which will wait for the user, right? It will wait for the user to type something, not just integer, okay? Anything. It will wait for the user to type something, right? It will wait for the user to type something. So I can say number equals to integer, enter a number. Now, if I run this code, what will happen? Can you see the message? Enter a number. This is the same message that you have written inside this double quotes, right? Enter a message. The same message you are getting it here also. Sorry, enter a number. And here you can see a box where you can type something, right? Now I want user to type a number, right? I want user to type a number here. So I will go into the conversion and I will take integer because I want my input to be integer, right? So now if I enter something, it will be considered as integer and it will store into the number variable. And of course, you can't type A, B, C, D here. You are talking about integer. So you should type 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that. Okay. Now, this, right, an interesting program that we'll write. Suppose, right, now this logic, you have to tell me how this logic you think will work. Now, what about, there is a number that you are taking from the, right, you are taking, right, a number you are taking from the user. Now you have to find out, right, whether you have to find out, right, whether this person, right, so I can say enter your age, let's say enter your age. Now you have to write a code, a very simple program to find out whether this person is eligible for driving license or not. Okay, I hope you got this, right? You have to ask user to enter your age and take the age of the user and tell that whether you are eligible for driving license or not. Now, what is the condition that you will write for this? Right? What is the condition that you will write for this? Very simple, I guess. Being in a grade 9 and higher, I hope you will be able to understand this. Okay. There's a doubt that the student is asking. How can I, right? How can I tell user that he has entered a letter with message? Right? Yes. For that, you're talking about something error, right? Something wrong that user has typed, isn't it, Saurya? Right. That we can do using try and accept. Okay. Let me write in the chat box that you can do using try and accept. Try and accept is a way to handle, right? Sorry. Try and accept is a way, right? Try and accept is a way to handle. Sorry, my mistake. Try and error is a way to handle errors, right? In the code. Sorry, I've given a wrong message here. Try and accept. So using try and accept, right? You can right, handle errors, something which is done wrong by the user. You can handle it using try and accept. We'll learn it in future, right? Some other day. Try and accept is actually very important because you never know what kind of input your user will give, right? A wrong or right, what kind of input your user will give, you are not sure about it, right? At all. So we'll learn in future what is try and accept. Okay. Now let's start with it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a very simple logic, right? I'm going to write a very simple logic. If, do, else, right? I'm not sure how many of you are already familiar. So hence I'm just teaching the basics here, right? So I'll say if. Now here we are going to use comparator operator. Now what are comparator operator? It is used to compare two values or two variables. So if you go here and you can go to logic and I will take equals to, and I will change equals to greater than equals to. And I will simply say if the number, now you have to understand this number is coming from user, right? Whatever user will enter, it will go inside number and we are using the same number, right? So I will say if the number is greater than or equals to number, right? If it is greater than or equals to number 18, do what to do? So I will simply use output. Now we are going to use a new block here. Output, right? In the output, you will see print. Print is a statement or a command to print something on the console, right? You can't do everything by your own. You have to communicate with the user, right? Isn't it? Suppose you have made a software, right? A login page, right? You have created a login page. Now user will fill the details like username, password. Then user will click on login button, isn't it? Right? User will click on the login button. Now you have to tell user, right? The entered username is right, incorrect. The password is incorrect. Login is successful, right? You have reached the maximum 5 attempts. I hope you're getting it, right? You have to tell user what went wrong. You can't keep the user, right, blind, completely blind. You have to give message. Suppose if I am a user and I'm trying to log in, and if something went wrong, right, username is not correct, password is not correct, then my system has to tell me that I have entered something wrong. Or user has to tell me that you have given a maximum attempt of 5 try after 30 seconds, 1 minute, right? You have to tell that user. To communicate, right? To say something to the user, we use print. And to ask something from the user, we use input. I hope you understood the difference between the print and input. Print is used to ask something from the user. For example, enter your age, enter your name, enter username, enter password, right? If you want to ask something from the user, use input. But if you want to tell something to the user, right? Yes, correct, Rishabh, good. So, right, then you can use, right? Then at that time you can use this, right? So I will print and I will just print a string. So I'll print a string. We have not discussed about what is a string, but maybe we'll discuss more in detail about the strings in future. Okay. So I'll say print, you are eligible. Please fill your form. You might have seen, right? In many websites, you go and you select your date of birth and it refuses you to go, right? It refuses you to take it to the next page, right? Because your age is very small. For example, this, if you fill the driving license form, you select your date of birth and it will not allow you to go further because your age is less, right? You are not eligible, right? Okay, you can say you are not eligible to fill the form. Now what I can do, I just simply run and it will ask me enter your age. I will say my age is, let's say 19, and it says that you are eligible, please fill your form. But if I run it again and if I enter my age as 11, it says that you are not eligible to fill the form, right? This is just a basic student that we have done, but the lot of things that can be achieved using this Python programming language, right? So there are so many things that we can achieve. You can go to this menu and save your program. Okay. Now let's see what are the things that we can achieve, right? What are the things that we can achieve using this? Now, here, right? You can see in the basic, right? Using the Python programming language, you can do almost all the things that you see, right? The softwares and designing and everything you can do. Even you can implement some part of your maths here. For example, you can do factorial, prime number, LCM, parabola, Armstrong number, largest number, area of the triangle or any other shape. There are a lot of things that you can do with the Python programming language, right? So almost the mathematics, computation, thinking, algorithm, data structures, all those things are the part of the basic Python programming, right? Okay, what is the best part about it? I can see some of you are already a little bit familiar with the Python programming language, right? Those people, those who are familiar with the Python programming little bit before, what you all can do if you want to write a program here, you can go to the view and you can say text view, right? And you can just turn on this switch. You can just turn on this switch and you can now start writing your code here, right? Those who are not purely familiar with the textual programming, they can go and they can say text plus view. The best part is as soon as you type your code, the block will also appear side by side, right? This is the unique property about the feature about this platform. So if I say print hello world, you can see as soon as I type the code, block is also visible on the left hand side of the screen. You won't get this feature in any of the platform. If you are not familiar with the Python, use the block. If you're already familiar with the Python, type the text. If you're not confident enough, you can use both side by side, okay? Now let's talk about a little bit about the artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? So let's do a very simple experiment. I think you won't be able to do it along with me because you don't have login credentials. Those who have login credentials, they can, right? They can follow along with me. I'm not sure about how many of you are having login credentials. So I'll click on create activity and I will say AI, let's say demo. And I will change this activity type to AI real world and I will click on create. Okay. I can see my AI activity of type AI, artificial intelligence is created. I will go inside this activity and here it is, right? Here, as you can see, right? Here, as you can see that, let's start with the facial detection, right? I have to turn off my zoom camera because I can't use camera at both sides. We can get this in Java as well, Python, but not that block one. Yes, right. Okay, so I will go here and let's do a very simple facial feature detection. Now, before I go to facial feature detection, can someone tell me where you have seen this kind of facial feature detection? Eyes, nose, smile, face detection. Where you have seen the application of AI detecting face, eyes, nose, and smile. We have discussed, right, some of this thing in the last lecture. I'm not talking about recognition, I'm talking about detection, students. Face unlock is not the example of detection, it's the example of recognition, face recognition. In crime detection, there's a nerve that is also face recognition, not detection. But actually in crime detection, it is used, right? It is used. Many company, right? Many countries, they literally do spying on their citizens using the face, right, recognition systems. Okay, if you follow news and all those, you might be familiar with this. But face recognition is a part of face recognition, not the face detection. Now, if you have used Instagram, Snapchat, right, filters, good, Aditya. I was waiting for this example, right? Good, Aditya. You can see, right, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, right? They have their filters. All these filters are based on nothing but artificial intelligence, face, eyes, nose, and smile detection. Okay. So let's quickly go here. Sorry. We'll go here and we'll go to this example of facial detection and we'll write a very simple code, right? Although we are not learning the inside, okay? There is something very inside, right? You can see the inside of the AI or the face detection that is known as Haar cascade, okay? In future, we'll learn about the Haar cascade also. What is a Haar cascade classifier and how Haar cascade classifier is used for detecting, right, objects in the camera. But for the time being, we will see the application rather than the inside of the AI. Inside of the AI, we may cover in some future webinars, right, and sessions, how Haar cascade work, because it's a long time taking topic, right? Haar cascade classifier, or you can talk about other CNN, convolution neural network. Those things we'll see, right? RNN, CNN in someday, right, in future. Now I can write a very simple program here. So I can go here, detect face. Now I will go to logic. And I will say if. I will go to logic and I will take equals to. Now equals to, taking equals to is non-mandatory, but let's see. Now when I say when, right? So I will say if the face detect is equals to true. Now this is very important. Now what this block face detect face is doing, right? What this block face detect is doing. Now this block face detect, right? This block face detect is, right? This block face detect is not taking, right? It taking the picture using this capture option. I will show you what does it mean, like what it does actually, capture button. This face detect option is just taking the picture that you have uploaded and trying to detect the face using Haar cascade. And if the face is detected, it will say true. What it will say true. So I will compare this with a Boolean true. True is nothing but a Boolean. There are total 8 data types in Python, right? Integer, float, okay? Integer, float, Boolean, string, list, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. There are total 8 data types in Python. Boolean is one of them, right? So I will say if the detect face is equals to true, what I will do. Now this will not just detect where the, right, whether there is a face or not. It also gives you 4 values. Very important, right? It gives you 4 values. X and the Y position of the object, width and the height of the object, right? X, Y, W, and H. So whenever you say Python, right, or computer vision to detect face in the picture, it will first detect the face and it will give you 4 things. X coordinate of the face, Y coordinate of the face, width of the face, and the height of the face, right? Now what I can do, I will not use print, I will use draw. So I'll go to facial, right, feature detection, facial feature detection, and I will use write, and I will write on the picture. What I will do, I will write on the picture and I will say face detected, right? Or else I will go here and I will say else, and I will write on the picture not detected. not detected. Now I will go here and I will click on capture button. Capture button will turn on the camera, and I will just go to the closer to the camera, and I will click on capture button. And then I will click on upload button, right? Now I will click on run button, and you can see it puts my face inside a square, right? I hope you all can see that. It puts my face inside a square. How? As we discussed, it gives you 4 values: X coordinate, Y coordinate, width, and the height. So this position, this dot here, you can see this is the starting position, X comma Y. This is the W width, and this is the H height of the face. Okay. I hope you can see how well it is working, right, students? How well it is detecting my face, and that is done using the AI. In future, we will learn what this line is doing and how it is using convolution neural network, and how it is using, right, mobile net and Harkaskit to do all these things. Now you can detect with the face, you can also detect eyes, right? You can detect eyes as well. So if I click on run button, right, you can see, okay, not detected because these are like putting some shadows on it. But you can, yeah, definitely do it. Now here you can see one thing, students, writing true is not mandatory, because anything which is true or false need no comparison. You can directly write face detected here. Okay. All right, students, I hope you understood how this AI, right, the computer vision is actually working, right? How the computer vision is actually working. Now, what we do in the machine learning? Now, this, right, sir was talking, right, earlier the sir was talking about using news, right, the artificial intelligence in news, isn't it? Now, news is all about the text. News is what? All about the text. Might be English or Hindi or any other regional language, but it's all about the text, right? So if you see in this particular example, if I open any ML project, right? Here, if you see about the machine learning, using machine learning, we can do 3 things. We can train our machine on numbers, on images, and on text. Okay. So what we can do, we can train our computers on 3 things, machine on 3 things. Number, we can train on numbers. Just a second. We can train our computers on 3 things, right? Number, images, and text data. Now, whenever we use text data, that is called as NLP, natural language processing. Whenever we use numbers, right? Now, this is not 100% true what I'm going to tell now, but for at this point of time, generally we use numbers with regression, okay? And we use category or classes with classification, okay? So let's create activity, and I will show you what exactly I mean. So here I will go and I will say ML demo, and I will click on create button. And if you see this in the ML machine learning, here you can go and you can see image training, right? You can go and you can say that train. When you go here, train images, you see here a sort of a teachable machine. Or what you can do right here, you can train you, right? You can train, right? You can train your machines, right? You can train your machines based on, right, text, or right, you can train based on the text or the numbers as text or the numbers. Training on the numbers, right? Training on numbers is nothing but your regression or the classification, right? Okay. Training, right, is regression or the classification, numbers and the text. And when it comes to, right, when it comes to your NLP, right, that is nothing but, right, that is nothing but your your regression and the classification, and training text is nothing but your natural language processing that we have already discussed in our previous session, right? Okay. So any doubts, students, so far? So at least at the last of the session, please tell how to do it. Okay. Okay. AI Connect library, you cannot use the concept you can use, Ankit, right? The concept will remain same. And in future session, we are actually going to learn the concepts directly, not this, how library is working. We are going to learn how concept is working. Okay. All right. Any other doubt if you have, you may ask in the chat box, or the rest of the topic we will cover in the upcoming sessions. Okay. How it captures face in the ideally, for that you have to use OpenCV, and in OpenCV you have to use capture. You have to use device capturing, right? Using camera number 0, 1, 2, 3. You can use any of the camera to do this. All right, so that is it, right? Students, if you have any doubt, you may ask now. If your Pi audio is giving error, you can use pip install pipwin and then say pipwin install Pi audio. This way can, right? You can install Pi audio. Don't say pip install Pi audio. Say pip install, right? Pip install pipwin and then say pipwin install Pi audio. I hope you understood, Rishabh. Generally, we say pip install Pi audio, right? Don't do that. Say pip install pipwin and then say pipwin install Pi audio. It will solve your error. Okay. Any other doubt, students? Show once. Okay. It might not be, right? Will be working, students. The reason is I will show you what is the problem. As you can see, students, I'm not using Windows operating system, right? I use Linux operating system, which is best for the development. Here I can't say pip install pipwin. The reason is pipwin is made for the Windows. Okay, pipwin is made for the Windows, right? I can't use pipwin here. Okay, because I use Linux operating system, not the Windows operating system. Those who have any problem with the Pi audio, they can contact me personally. Okay. All right. Any doubt? Just type pip install live. If you need, I will write the command in the chat box. All right. Okay, so we'll wind up here for today.
I hope, children, you are not, you don't have any other questions. In case you do, please save them for upcoming sessions. So we thank you, Aman sir, for this informative session. And I'm quite sure the children have benefited from this. Participants, we still have another session in this series, which is based on mobile app development, and it will be scheduled very shortly. This upcoming session, it will not only add to your skills, but it will also enhance your employability in the future. You will find the registration link for the upcoming webinar in the chat box. Please keep the chat box active for the registration link. Another reminder to all the participants that the certificate will be awarded only when you have successfully registered and attended all sessions till the end. Along with the registration form in the chat box, you will also find a link for the feedback for today's session, and all participants are required to fill that up. I hope all of you can see the registration link and the feedback form. Thank you, Sakshi ma'am. This brings us us to the end of today's session. On behalf of Sunbeam School, Mughal Sarai, I extend a sincere and heartfelt thanks to our guest of honor, Shri Prashant Kakkar, our resource person, Mr. Raman Upadhyay, and the entire team of STEM Robos. And I also thank all the participants for being with us here tonight and making this a grand learning experience. Till then, till the next session, this is Amrita Bose signing off. Thank you and Jai Hind.